Hello, my dear students. Now I am going to tell you some short and freshening story of the taxation policy of the company. Now here company means the British East India Company who came to India in order to run the business. Gradually they became the political masters over our land. When they became the master over the land, they decided to collect tax, because tax is the main source of income of a government. So this company people decided to introduce some taxation system in Bengal. The name of that taxation system in history is known as Permanent Settlement System. Permanent Settlement System. You see, my dear children, according to this system, the British rulers made an agreement with the landlords of Bengal to pay a fixed amount of tax to the government within a fixed period of time, and the amount would not be high, would not be low than that. This system is called Permanent Settlement System. This Permanent Settlement System also has got one more name, that is called Sunset Law. Sunset Law. That is to say, before the sun sets on that particular day of payment, the Zamindar had to pay the tax to the government. This Permanent Settlement System in Bengal was introduced in 1793. 1793. This system had got one good or maybe a bad clause for the landlords. I would put that way. What is that clause? That those farmers or the zamindars who failed to pay the tax according to the Sunset Law or Permanent Settlement System, his land was confiscated, it was put to auction, and it was given to the highest bidder. In that way, the company or the British government were trying to recover the debt which was not given by the previous landlord. This condition of taking away the land and putting into action was first put on the king of Burdwan. King of Burdwan was a big landlord, huge areas of land he had, but he failed to pay the tax. Therefore, his land was put to auction in 1797. 1797. It was a big event. People came from all around to see this auction. Why? Because the king of Burdwan was a big name in Bengal. Anyhow, his land was put to auction and he lost his Jagir, means land. Now the question comes, or you can ask the question, how or why the landlords failed to pay the tax? Why the landlord failed to pay the tax? Why failed? Few things I will tell you and you will not forget in your life. One of the reasons was that the rate of tax was very high. Landlords were not always able to gather so much amount of money to pay the tax. This was one cause of the failure of timely payment of tax. Another one I will say that the natural calamity natural calamity means flood or drought. Indian agriculture depended much on monsoon. If there was too much rain, then flood took place, agriculture suffered. If there was less rain, again agriculture failed and landlords were unable to have the good agricultural work and they failed to collect that amount easily. Another one is that the role of the Joddars. Joddars, in short, I will tell you, is that Joddars were a group of rich farmers who held the land of the landlord. These Joddars supposed to pay the tax to the hand of the landlord, but many a time they did not cooperate. As a result, Jamindars could not pay the tax in time. One more reason I will tell you, a small one, is that the unwillingness of the landlords themselves. Sometimes they did not want to pay the tax to the government. And that was the reason that Jamindars became failure. They could not pay the required amount in time. So company took over the land, put it to auction in order to recover the debt. This is how the landlords became failure. Now, bit of thing I want to give a little bit of stress with a little short narration on the Joddars. My dear boys and girls, my dear children, Joddars were rich farmers. Don't forget it. Why rich? Because they held huge areas of land. This land was taken from the landlord, true, and yet this area of the lands under the Joddars were so huge that they could be called a kind of mini landlord in their own area, mini landlord. These Joddars were living among the people. This is a very good feature of the Joddars, among the people. When they were staying among the people in the villages, the relationship between the Joddars and the farmers were very close. So whenever any farmer used to suffer, these Joddars used to help them out. In this way there was a close affinity between the farmers and the Joddars. These farmers in fact did not know who was landlord, who was overlord. They knew their nearest man, Joddar, as their savior. These Joddars used to collect tax from his own people and used to send the money to the hand of the overlord, that is Jamindars. These Joddars were so powerful that they were giving punishment to the faulty farmers in need. The case was settled by the Joddars. The case was not forwarded to the landlord. In this way, in short, I like to tell you that Joddars were such a powerful group of local farmers that their contribution of money to the hand of the Joddar counted a lot. When they did not pay in time, the landlord also failed to pay the tax in time to the company as per the government, as per the sunset law. All these things we come to know from a series of books called Fifth Report, FIF, Fifth Report. Fifth Report was a series of records which were formulated by the company officials in India, and they used to send that report to England so that the ministers or the administration in England would further decide, further plan for the collection of money in India. This is what in short the narration of the story of Bengal Jamindars, my dear students, now I ask you to read the book also to read my notes which I have already given, and in this way you will be able to understand this portion as your own very well. All the best. Thank you.